Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again with another update with the Pecron E600LFP. Now this technology has amazed me for the last, I would say a year and a half or so. I just got into it about a year and a half ago, and the first one I ever bought was that Mylon, and the technology advancement is just, for me, I think it's borderline amazing as far as what you can do with a small box like this. This box weighs 20 pounds. And let me show you what I mean. So say you're going camping or fishing or hunting, or say you're in your RV or wherever you are, even at a ball game and you're tailgating, or who knows what you're going to use a box like this for. Fishing, that would be a big thing. You put this down by the river and you could power a light, and you could power a coffee maker down there, and you could power, you charge your phone. I mean, anything. It's the same as what you have at the house, obviously at a smaller size, smaller scale. So let me show you what I've been testing with as far as the, okay, let me plug this in first. Let's turn it on. Let's start there. Let's turn it on. Okay, we're going to turn on the AC and we're going to turn on the DC. Okay, so both inverters are on, and now this cord goes to my laptop that's over there. So we're going to plug that in, and you're going to see the power outage. That's going to spike a little bit. There is a small delay, which I like. It's like a soft start. If you guys ever had one of those air conditioners, you know, with a soft start where the power ramps up, you see how it's ramping up? I like that. Now that has to charge my battery in the laptop, and that uses about 90 to 95, give or take, of how much energy is in that battery in the laptop. So we're pulling in about 90 watts, let's say average. You know, it's going to bounce because depending on what my processor's doing and my video card's doing, it has to balance that energy with the energy of charging. But now watch this. So now the DC's on. We have, let's plug this in here. Okay. And then we're going to charge this little guy here. Okay. I don't know if that's charging. Hold on a minute here. Oh, I know why. Okay, hold on. Nope, so I can't use the C to C. Let's see, that's always fun for live reviews, guys. Live reviews are always crazy. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go in this one to this one. Okay, there you go. Now it's charging. Okay, for some reason, it doesn't like the C to C connection on this. I think this is just a very cheaply made product. So A to C works fine. C to C, I don't know if it's too much power maybe, or the voltage is too high. It's a possibility, because this is one of those little little quickie fans that we found at Dave & Buster's when me and the wife went to have fun. Oh, see how it stopped charging? Okay. Oh, so it's probably the plug then. Okay. So the C will probably work then. Okay. Well, either way, it works now. You know what? Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's unplug this C. Yeah, maybe it is the plug on this side. You know, sometimes these things, guys, you know, they're made so quick and cheap. All right, let's plug it in here. Nope, see, it doesn't work from the C to C. And that's not the problem of the port of here, because I know those ports work. See, it just doesn't charge that. But it does charge if you go from A to C. And I think that has to do with the voltage. See, there it goes. Okay, so we know that's charging. You can see that on camera. So that's coming out. That's coming out at approximately 5 watts. And then about 90 to 95 for the processor well, my laptop with the processor and everything. Okay, so let's say we wanted to charge this bad boy. So we got here's a phone. I'll put it in an 18 watt here. Okay. You can plug that in there. Let's see what's going to happen. As far as, there you go, see, charging. Okay, so that's charging. We'll set it up there. I don't have a wireless phone, guys, so I use this one for my drone, all my drones. So that's charging now, as you can see. Let's see where it's at. I think it's at 93%. Okay, 93%. You know what we can do? We can put it in the fast one and see how fast it'll charge while this is going on. So you can see it's charging, and then it's at 93. So remember that it's at 93, and then we'll leave that up there. It's not doing the wireless charging, don't forget. And then let's see what else we can do. We're gonna put, let's see, we're gonna put a 200 watt heater, okay, up here, and then we're gonna run this. Now we're gonna have spaghetti cables, of course, guys, and That's just what happens when you play with electronics a lot. Okay, so we're going to turn this on, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this over here. You can see it's on, and what I do have is this, and that way you can see in real time that it's going up. See, 80, 90, 100, 116. As you can see, it's ramping up rather quickly. So 124, 134. So we'll let that go. That's powering. The phone's charging. This fan is charging. Okay. And then we're gonna put this guy in here. Hopefully this will fit in here. So you guys know what this is? This is one of those little things for camping. Okay, I have to let me back this up a little bit here, make a little bit more room. We don't want to have this this hot plate kind of thing touch any of the wires, because obviously that's not a good idea. So we're gonna plug that in here. Okay, we're gonna max this little guy out almost. Okay, so notice that that's on. See that? That's on. And then what I'll do is, I know it's hard to see on video, so what I do is use my trusty dusty, this guy, and we can check the heater up there. Okay, so it's 180 degrees and still rising, and it's getting very hot, so I'm going to turn it that way. Okay, it's already summer, guys. And then this little guy here is, you can watch it in real time here. Let's see, I just don't want to burn any wires here. Let me tilt this down. Okay, and then you can watch that in real time. As you see, it's 128, 130. So that's definitely ramping up. And basically what that's for, guys, is, you know, say you're out there camping and you want to have a, you know, a little bowl of soup or something, some beans, or, you know, whatever you eat, you put it right in there and warm it right up. All right, so that's safe. I think that's far enough away. It's about 3 inches away from all the cables here. We'll keep this trusty dusty guy here. And now let's see, what do we have left? We have a C and we have an A. Okay, so we're gonna take, oh, I don't know, let's take this bad boy here, and we're gonna plug this in the old grandpa port here, which is, notice the dinosaur port, I guess the kids call it the dinosaur port. And then here we have one of those controllers. It looks like PS2 or PS3 or PS4, but it's not. This is actually a universal one. It goes to a computer. It's called the GameSir. It's one of my favorites. I do have other ones now that are even better than this, but I do like this one for gaming on the PC. I'm an old kid, so I still like gaming. Let me plug this in here. I can never get these cords in here. Okay, there you go. And then you'll see that little guy. Okay, so that popped on. Okay, so that's charging. Okay. GameSir has these new ones here. See this? Where you put your phone in there, and then that kind of bypasses all the you know, the flip thingy. So I like this one better for my drones, but I used the other GameSir for yeah, like you know, Grand Theft Auto 5 and all that cool stuff, and Call of Duty, and well, sometimes I play Call of Duty with the mouse. It's a lot easier. Okay, so now let's see what else we got here. We have, let's see, we got another A, C. Oh, here. This doesn't soak up much energy, but this one does. Okay, let's put this one here. Oh. Okay, so then you can see that that's turning on. It's not 99, guys. It's at 66. Okay, 66. So now that's charging. I'll see if I can leave that on the same angle here where you can kind of see it, which is going to be top. As I promised, guys, it's going to be spaghetti wires in here. Okay, now, so this little box, guys, this little tiny box is running that little hot plate down there. It's charging that fan, it's charging that phone, it's charging this big old battery bank right here, okay, and it's running that heater all at the same time. I think, you know, for the size of a battery, guys, I think that's crazy that you can do that much stuff with it. Now we'll test the heater of the, not the heater, the hot plate. As you can see, that's 400 degrees. I highly recommend you do not touch that. That's very hot. 400 degrees is a lot of heat, guys. And then you got this one is about 100 or 200, so that one hit about 200. That one I noticed maxes out at about up to 250, depending on the day and the environment it's in, and then depending on where you aim it inside there. Of course, it's just a little kind of like a toy heater. And then this one here is like, that's 400 degrees, guys. A secret in fishing, guys, if you had one of those little hot plates like that, or a little thing like this, and you were out there fishing and it's cold, if you put this little heater like underneath your shirt and blow that hot air into your shirt, your day will go better, I promise you. Okay, so to recap, we have the fan charging, we have the phone charging, we have a 200-watt heater, ballpark, it's like 180 or something like that. It's rated at 200 watts. And then you have this bad boy charging at 66%. And then you have, now the phone, as you can see, that's at 95%. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me back out of here. Here, I'll unplug it so you can see the actual, like we got 2% of power, guys, from that speed delivery port. That's quick. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, see, 95%. Okay, so we gained 2% of power that fast. I think that's fantastic. You charge that phone up in no time. Lickety split, you'd be gone. And then notice now we're pulling out 530, which is that hot plate down here, which is it kind of cycles on and off. As you can see, it's about 350. So it'll cycle between 350 and 400 degrees. We have this bad boy that's going at about 196.8. Like I said, it goes up and down. It all depends on how that ceramic block is you know, heated and cooled by the air going in through the back, of course. Okay, so you have fan and phone, and then heater, hot plate to warm up some food, and then you got the power brick. And now we're going to add another element. I do have extra holes in here, but I don't have any more cords or anything to hook up. All I have is A's. We're going to add this bad boy. This is, ooh, that's hot. If I could put this aside, guys, just a hair. That is really hot. 400 degrees is enough to warm anything up. Okay, so this is coming in at about 38.69 volts. What this is this is two Pecron PV300 solar panels in parallel. Okay, so what you do with that bad boy is you grab one of these little adapters that Pecron gives you. Okay, boy, this plate is hot. Holy cow! Just to show you guys, just to prove to you guys. Okay, look at that. It's 419 degrees, and that's right next to my arm. That is enough for a heater in the wintertime. Holy cow! Okay, so you take this bad boy here and you plug it into here. Now remember, I don't support hot swapping, guys. You got to do this at your own risk. Okay, hot swapping it can be dangerous. Okay, so we're pulling in 38.63 volts off two panels in parallel. Now the reason I'm doing this is I'm trying to push this box almost to the limit, not the limit out, but as a limit as far as, look at all the stuff you could charge. Imagine if you were in a tent or a camper or a van with a fan, a heater, a hot plate, charging your brick and your phone, guys. And don't forget, I have my laptop hooked to this too, right? So holy cow, that's like everything that you have in your house in a little box like this. And it says that would run on this box, all this stuff now, for approximately 1.65 hours. And remember, that cycles on and off the hot plate. The rest of it stays on, but this cycles on and off. So it's anywhere between an hour and 78. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's minutes or, okay, see, okay, so it's cycled on. See that? So 90 minutes. Okay, I think that's 90 minutes. No, wait, that would be an hour and a half. I don't know how this, I think this is like a 9/10 of an hour. I still have not figured that out yet. So that's a crazy one. The hour one is easier to understand, but the 90, because 90 minutes, well, wouldn't that be an hour and a half, right? So it should say 1 hour 30 minutes. But oh, I see. Okay, so there's only an H, guys. So there's no minutes. Okay, so 88. Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Okay, 88 minutes. Okay, well, it'll go for, according to that, hour and a half. That's confusing. Okay, Pecron, we got to change that. We got to put a minute logo on there so you can see. I assume that's 89 minutes, guys, which is 0.89 of an hour. But if that's really let's leave that be. Okay, so that's a confusing little chart here. The other one actually has minutes. Okay, the bigger one. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in that solar panel. Okay, I know that was a crazy storm of information quickly. All right, so we're gonna put that in. Remember, it has a slow start. Now that's gonna come in through the DC, so you're gonna see that DC start to drop. Okay, real slowly. Remember, it's a slow start in this thing. So once it talks to the BMS and everything, and the MPPT controllers, this is very hot still. Then you're gonna see this. Okay, see now it went from negative to positive now, right? And my phone is trying to do something, so I'll leave it be. Okay, it's happy. All right. Okay, so we have 228 coming in, 241. Let's let that ramp up, guys. You can see it here too, in real time of actually what you're getting. You're getting about 10 amps, and it's still ramping up here. 300 watts in, 304, 307. So we'll just let it do what it does here. And it says it's bringing in about 345. Now I just flopped these two panels out on the ground. They're completely flat. The sun, it's about 11:30 a.m. So the sun is not 100% up, so it's definitely going to be on an angle. Notice we're pulling at about 330 watts, which is that's about right, because 351 minus the conversion is about 330 something. So now what's amazing, and why I'm showing you this video, guys, is imagine if you had this when you were camping. Just, like, if I had this 20 years ago, holy cow, I'd be out there fishing and I would never come home. I like to have 330 watts on a couple panels that you threw on the ground. I don't even have them set up right. Remember, this only maxes out at 400 input. So if you have a fan, a heater, well, you wouldn't run them at the same time, but a fan, a heater, a phone, a hot plate to make food, charging your power brick, running your laptop, and bringing in solar at the same time, guys, on a box that's 20 pounds, that weighs about half of what a car battery weighs, and literally has a handle that you could just grab and go. What a lifesaver this would be. Guys, if you had something like this in the trunk of your car, or if you had something like this in your camper, or your camping gear, holy cow, guys, this is crazy as far as the technology. So now I'm using 526. See, it says 2.2 or 2.16 hours. So if that's a percentage, we're gonna have to figure that out. But my phone's trying to do stuff up there. I wonder if it has anything to do with the wireless charging, but I don't think this has wireless charging. Let's see. Let's take this back here. Oh, that's what it was trying to tell me. Okay, guys, so you remember how I told you, like, holy cow, quick, watch this. I'm going to unplug this and plug this back in. Okay. See that? 100% already. Holy crapzilla. So that's what it was trying to tell me. Guys, we went, what is it, 8%? Like that. I mean, the video is only 14 minutes long. That's done already. This is still at 66, obviously, because this is a much bigger. This is 20,000 milliamp hours, and it's real. That's a very heavy, it's like a laptop brick. And then that's only going from USB A, and I can't charge it through C because I don't have that connection on there. It's only the micro. I wish you could speed charge that. That would be nice. Okay, so the phone is done. If I could turn this off, holy cow. And then if I can turn this guy off too, because this, let's unplug it here. There's no off button on this thing, guys. So this little plate, ooh, that's hot. Okay, so this little plate gets super hot, and there's no off button. That's the only thing I don't like about that, is you have to unplug it to turn off. But let's see here. So this is still 393 degrees, super hot. I'm gonna put this off to the side because, like I said, it's summertime, guys, and being summertime, it's hot. This is cooling down now. This is at still 183 degrees. So let's unplug that. Let's take that bad boy out of there. Okay. All right, let's unspaghetti some spaghetti wires here. Okay, let's get that out of here. Okay, so both of the heating elements are gone, and believe me, it's wonderful that they are. Okay, so the phone's done, so you can unplug that. I don't really have any other things to plug in here, guys. But just imagine the possibilities of this. If you took this and you were, matter of fact, I'm going to turn the fan on now because that's fully charged. Okay, that feels better. That'll take away some of that heat, guys. Let's see how that's doing. 80 degrees. All right, I'll take that over 400 any day. Okay, so that's doing what it's doing here. Okay. Oh, it's not done charging. Okay, so that port is kind of bad on this thing. This is a quick thing that we want at Dave & Buster's over there. All right, so we're bringing in 347. We're still charging this power brick here, and then we're still charging this fan and using it at the same time. And then we're bringing in just under 29 volts at 12 amps. That's high, 12 amps. So it's pushing that thing pretty good. There's 12 amps of power going in that little bad boy. And then you have 363, which converted is about 340-ish or so. You always lose power. You know, it takes, you know, the old saying, it takes money to make money. Well, it takes power to make power, to convert it. So, if you had, a 24-volt battery, which this is, battery pack, and then you want 120, well, you have to convert that, and it takes energy to make energy. So, like, the heat, it takes energy to make heat. All right, but I think this is a pretty successful test, guys. I don't use too much of DC. Everyone who follows my channel knows I'm not big into DC unless it's the USB DC style. Other than that, I can't remember the last time I've ever used one of these when I went camping or anything. It's nice to have. It's always nice to have a backup plan, guys. But these inverters nowadays have gotten so efficient that you literally use these almost at the same efficiency as what it was to bring it straight out 12 volt. Crazy. Or 24 volt for that matter. But holy cow, guys. So we're only using 63. That means my laptop is getting ready to finalize. It is at, let's see, I don't know what it was when I started. Let's see, it's at 86%. So as it gets higher, obviously the battery doesn't have as much energy going into it, so that dropped down to 63. And if I unplug this, obviously, well, it's the only thing we have plugged in, so we know that we guarantee. See, when I refreshed it, I unplugged it and put it back in, and then you'll see that go down. So that's like a BMS inside a laptop, so it controls the charging and the voltage and everything. But wow, guys, what a awesome little box. I do like that EV3A too. I can't wait to get that back. Hopefully I should have it back Tuesday. They're going to send me a brand new one and then we can check it. But I just wanted to do another update with this, guys, because this is a powerhouse for a little toy like that. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that test that I did last time. Here, I'll put one heater here. Let me refresh this, because it's crazy that you can use that much power. It's just crazy. All right, we're going to turn that on. It's a little off camera, but you can see it's on. Okay, and then we're going to take another one. Give me a second. Okay, so we have another one here, and this one is a 400 watt heater. Okay, so we're going to make some more spaghetti wires here, and then plug that in, and then turn this on. Now this one is, it says 500, but I think it's really only 400. You know how people overrate stuff? This isn't overrated. This actually works. Now notice I'm pulling out about 700 watts. So we'll test it in real time here, guys. It's getting hot in here again. Okay, so here's ramping up 160 degrees and going upwards. If you literally hold this, you can watch it go up in real time. It's crazy. All right, see 220. So you got 230. You can see how quick it's going up. And then this one obviously is ramping up too. So you have 700 watts being used. You can use that for about an hour and a half if that's what the 38 means. Let me grab another one. Hold on. Okay. Oh, and most important, watch this, guys. There's your voltage of your battery, and there's your voltage of your AC inverter. Look at that. It only dipped, which is called voltage sag. It only went down 1 volt. And look at it, bounced back up to 20. Holy cow. So as these, heated up and got balanced, look, it literally, it loses almost nothing, and you're burning out 650 watts, guys. That's a ton of power for a little box like this. Now I'm going to take my laptop out, okay? Because we've got to make room for more power. So let's put this over here. Plug this in my power strip, and then we're going to take this one. Now this one is another 200. I don't know if, hopefully you can see all this stuff, guys. I got them lined up here, as you can see. So I have 200 watt. It's supposed to be 500 watt, but it's really only 400. And then that's 200 watts. So if you look at what's going out of here, look at this. That's 800 watts, guys. I don't have any more plugs. I have nowhere else to put anything. And being that, remember, this is still charging here. Right, that's still charging, and then this is still charging, right? 66%. Like I said, this takes a very long time, guys. This is a huge battery pack, and to charge it through USB-A, holy cow, that takes like almost 24 hours to charge it. I wish this had a USB-C so I can funnel in 100 watts into this battery pack. This is an older battery pack, so I'm kind of stuck with what I have. So using 800 watts and bringing in about almost 360 watts, solid as a rock, by the way. When you check the voltage again, look at it, only sagged 1 volt. 1 volt, guys, that's it. That's 119 volts. This is oh, not to mention, watch this, guys, watch this. Do you see that temperature? 84 degrees. 84, 84, 82, 81, 85, 90 on this side. 80, let's go to the top here. 85. I think I saw 90. I saw 90 somewhere. Let me see if I can get that 90 again. There. So somewhere over here there was 90. There, 91.9. Guys, this thing is putting out and taking in that much energy, and it's only at 90 degrees? 90 degrees, 91 degrees. That's insane. Guys, if I had this years ago, I couldn't imagine the life-changing opportunities with fishing and stuff, because I was a guy that sat on the lake all day. You know those guys that leave as soon as the sun comes up, right? As soon as those 24-hour launch areas are open, I'm on the lake. I'm on there. You know, I'm up before the worms are crawling around. You know what I mean? And I don't come back until the bugs are eating me alive. I mean, it's like the mosquitoes out there. Like, I really enjoyed fishing it. But if I had this kind of technology years ago, man, would that have changed the ball game, guys. Man, oh man. It's amazing that that can put out 800 watts like candy, take in 360 watts like candy, and still run for an hour doing that. That's wow, that's crazy. A car battery would have died a long time ago, guys. Okay, so you got 249. That's going to be the hot one. Almost 300. You got this bad boy, 230. So you're literally watching, and you know what? I'm going to give up on this because this is super hot, guys. So you're literally watching this little battery almost put to the max. Now remember, you could go about 1,300 watts on there if you have to. I've had it that high before, and there was no problems with it. Zero. So let me move this out of the way. Okay, and now I want you to hear this because that pushed the fan pretty good. Ready? You hear the fan ramping down already? Guys, literally, that's how quick it cooled the system down. And remember, we're pushing out 800 watts and we're putting in 360. That is a lot of power. So here over by the fans, you got 81.8 degrees. On the main system, you got just above 90. Oh, I saw 92 there. No, 93. I saw 93. Let's see. 89. Guys, that's nothing. That's nothing. We're running that probably, what, 10, 15 minutes? And we're still bringing in, as you see, the solar. 383 true watts and then 361 converted. So, unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. And then here's your voltage again. You can follow it this way. And then this shot back up to 121, which is nice because, guys, this is 120 volt outputs, and it actually gives you 121. Believe me, in the sound industry, every 1 volt you have more, you will be happy with the sound quality and the power quality coming out of your power source. So now I'll show you one more thing. I'm going to turn the DC off, and notice that this will stay on, obviously, because we're pulling in solar. And then we're going to turn the AC off because it's cool already. I'm going to show you. Let's unhook this guy because DC's off now. Okay. And now I'm going to show you that. Let's see the fan. Let's take the fan off. Okay. So let's see the fan's unplugged here. Okay. It's kind of like an experimental lab going on here with all these cables and cords. All right, so now we just have the box all by itself. And I want to show you something that I overlooked on just about every video that I ever made for every system that I have. Is it's the most simplistic thing, other than, you know, a lot of that. And a lot of people didn't know how to access that, and that's awesome. That's the batteries, and that's the voltage out. So let me turn those off. Okay. Now when I turn off the AC, watch what happens, guys. Okay, notice it still keeps this screen on. The AC's off. Everything in this box is off other than the input, which is the MPPT controller and the BMS management system. So you're bringing about 350 watts, and it'll say 22. Now I'm assuming that's 22 minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to test that in real time and go for about a minute. Oh, there it goes. And now, okay, so we'll go one more minute and see if that's really minutes there. But that'll be charged in 20 minutes back up like it was never even touched. Guys, this is a winner. If you want to get into this industry and you're afraid, like I was very afraid to buy these, you know, these huge systems. I mean, some of them cost, you know, upwards of $5 or $10, $15, even $20,000. Like if I was to do it again, guys, I just had a conversation with one of the scribers. If I were to do it again, I literally would have started from scratch and bought a rack server, a server rack battery mount, which is like 20 to 30,000 kilowatt hours, and then an all-in-one unit for the house. But being that I started with these guys, these are getting almost as big as those all-in-ones with the server racks. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. I have over there an 8,000 watt-hour power station. That powers my entire workshop, a 7.4 cubic refrigerator, a 5 cubic foot freezer, one of the ones that go open like this. It's much more efficient than the sideways ones. Just for knowledge, guys, you know, the anything that opens this way, you know, sideways, all the cold air obviously goes to the bottom. So in the grocery stores, they have all those freezers that are top loaders because cold air sinks, obviously. So that doesn't come out of that little bucket. So when you close it and open it, the cold air stays in there. That's why they're so efficient. Very, very good. Tip if you want to buy a freezer for extra food in your pantry or something like that is buy one of those top loaders, guys. All right, so we're back to this. We can see it's 18, so that has to be minutes. That has to be. It says 0.18 hours. I don't know if that's accurate because 18 minutes is not 0.18 hours. That would be 100, unless that's divided into 100 increments. Then it would make sense. But that's always confusing. Like a time card at your job where they put it in, 99 minutes in increments. That's so confusing, guys. You have to use a calculator to calculate that. I wish that was up to 59 and then it went to the hour. It'd be much more easier. These were made in China, so obviously their metric system and everything's a little different. So how they rate stuff, and then they use their metrics is obviously different than the U.S. But guys, what a successful test, right? Imagine if you had that and you cooked a bowl of soup or something like that, some beans, or warmed up something from yesterday, right? In that little pan, you got 3 heaters that ran, a fan. I charged a phone. I was charging, this big old thingy. It's like, this is like a power brick. Is not a joke. This is heavy. This is a good brick. Let's see, my laptop. We tested it and proved it with this guy to prove that everything was on. We watched the power come in and out of here. We watched the actual voltage come in and out of here. This would have a lot more, guys. Like I said, I just threw the panels out there flat, the PB 200s out there. Sorry, PB 300s out there, which is the 330 watt panels each. I just tossed them out there for a quick test because I just wanted to reiterate that this is a monster little box, guys. For like 300 bucks, this is the way to start out, guys. Start with that EV3A, start with a Pecron, start small, find out what you need, what you want. If this is even right for you, maybe these are not even good for you. Maybe this is just a waste of your time. But if you're gonna try it, start out small. That's the best thing that I can say. There was a fella on our channel, a real nice fella, and I tried to help him get his system up after he already bought it, and he bought the E600LFP, but he wanted to run this huge super water pump thing, right, for his restaurant business and his traveling. Those big I don't know what they're called, like P20s or P30s, those big trucks, the food wagons, and that Pecron had such a low surge as far as like the timing like that, and it was popped, that he couldn't run that pump. So he ended up getting that AC300. I believe it was AC300, and now he was able to run that. It was either AC300 or AC500, but he's got a monster system now. But that's what I was referring to, guys. You have to learn what you need and what you want in these power stations rather than just rushing out and buying one. If you have the itch to get one, get something small like this. Start out small, save your money that way, find out what you really need, what you really want, what you really need to look for. Because do you need an app? Do you don't need an app? Like the EB3A is nice with the app, right? Because if this needed a firmware update, which it didn't, but say it did, right? Like the E2000 had that firmware update. Well, you'd have to ship this back to the company to get that firmware update. With the EB3A, you go on the app, you update the firmware, done. You did what the company did without setting all that, hard-earned money and shipping and everything. But this is a very, very solid unit. If I would have bought this before the E2000, I don't know, other than the power inverter size, which is an obvious, and the power capacity. If Pecron, if you would have put some kind of adapter that this can go to that EB3A through that cascading cable, this would have been a monster power station with the portability of only 20 pounds. That would have been an unbelievable. Maybe they'll have an update to this model. Pecron, are you listening? Put some kind of a port, if you can, on here. You guys saw that other one that I did. I took the EB3000 and I put it here, and I ran from the inverter of that one into the DC input, and I was able to bring in about 70 watts, and that ran, guys, that ran for like 2.5 days. It was crazy. I just had little things, little random little trinkets running and little fans and stuff like that, and it ran forever. But I wish that I could find a way, and I'm still trying to find a way to hook that 24 volt into here somehow. I'm gonna try, and I know I shouldn't try, but I'm gonna try to come out the cascading port somehow and maybe mod those cables. I don't know if it's a good idea or bad idea, but I'm still on the defense of whether I want to try it or not. But I would like to have it where I come out the cascading cable right into this aviation port somehow. I'm gonna need a little help doing that, but boy, that would bring out the 24 volts, right? On a bigger amp scale, up to 15 amps, and then you have some monster power coming into here where it would be continuous. So just imagine if you could have that, guys, the EB3000 to this would be a super monster power station in the terms of portability, and then when you get home you got 3.5 kilowatts of power, but under 20 pounds when you walk around. All right, guys, well, this is just another update. I want to give everybody all the information that I've learned. I've used this for a few weeks now. Very, very happy. There's nothing on this thing that has let me down yet, other than, like I said, I do not use these, other than I tested them. But I'm not a DC output guy other than the USBs, but nothing has let me down. I've been charging solar all the way up to about 60 volts. Those who follow the channel know I have about 60 volts coming in. This is just a quick one I threw out. This one works fine up to 100 volts. I'm sorry, 100 watts. You cannot use both of them, guys. Don't try that. You'll burn out that controller. Either this one or that one. Don't put them both in. This is a single charge station. Just an unbelievable amount of power for a little box like that. Like I said, you could put this little bad boy in here, and now you got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, just this is a monster power station in a small size. Very capable for fishing, camping, and hunting. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and I'll see you next time on Ramblin Bob Reviews. The links are in the description if you want to check it out. Guys, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. Our channel is growing pretty quick here. We call it the Scriber family. We want to be different than every other channel. If you have a question, leave a comment. If you have a bad experience with this, leave a comment. I want to hear all the sides, because other people can make better decisions when they hear both sides of the argument rather than just one. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you again on Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye.